Your 3-year-old phone is not slow. It's being slowed down on purpose by a single setting buried behind a menu most people don't even know their phone has. And once you switch it, that same old phone will feel faster than the day you bought it. Today I'm going to show you the free setting that makes an old phone feel instantly, physically faster, plus a handful of others that clear out the sludge it's been carrying for years. No new phone, no factory reset that wipes your life, nothing bought. Because here's what nearly everyone does the moment their phone starts to lag. They assume it's worn out, they walk into a store, and they hand over $800, $1,000, sometimes $1,200 for a new one, when the phone in their pocket was never actually broken. It was just quietly holding itself back. The big one, the setting that does most of the heavy lifting, I'll get to in a minute, and I want you to actually try it while you're watching, because the change is instant and a little bit shocking the first time you see it. I did this to my own phone 2 years ago and genuinely stopped thinking about upgrading. It just felt new again. So let's deal with the real reason your old phone feels slow, because it's almost never what you think. When a phone ages, people assume the hardware is wearing out like an old engine. Mostly, it isn't. The chip inside is nearly as fast as the day it was made. What actually happened is that every software update since then piled on heavier animations, more background activity, and more visual polish. Polish designed for the newer, beefier phones that came out after yours. Your phone is trying to perform a fancy dance routine it was never built for. And the stumbling you see is that mismatch. Fix the mismatch, and the speed comes right back. Which brings us to the setting. Somewhere in your phone is a hidden menu called Developer Options. It sounds intimidating, like something you'd break the phone by touching. You won't. On an Android, you go into your settings, find the About Phone section, and tap on the build number. Tap it about 7 times in a row. The phone will actually count down and then announce in so many words that you're now a developer. Congratulations. You didn't learn to code, you just unlocked a door. Inside that menu are 3 settings sitting right next to each other, and they're the whole trick. They're called Window Animation Scale, Transition Animation Scale, and Animator Duration Scale. By default, they're each set to 1 time. That's the little swoosh your phone plays every single time you open an app, close it, or slide between screens. It feels like nothing, a fraction of a second. But your phone waits for that entire animation to finish before it lets you do the next thing. Every tap, all day long. On an old phone, that swoosh is the lag. Turn all 3 of them down to 0.5, or switch them off entirely and back out of the menu. Now open an app. Apps don't open anymore, they just appear. There's no waiting, no swoosh, no stumble. The phone responds the instant your finger lands. It is the single most dramatic free change you can make to an aging phone, and it takes about 30 seconds. iPhone users, you've got your own version. It's an accessibility under a setting called Reduce Motion, and flipping it on cuts most of those same animations. Same result. The phone suddenly feels like it woke up. Quick pause, since you're still here and clearly the type who'd rather fix the thing than throw $1,000 at a store to solve it for you. A free subscribe genuinely helps the channel keep digging up stuff like this. And if you want the deeper tricks, my channel members get breakdowns I don't post publicly. That's the whole pitch. Now, back to it, because turning off the animations is the big win, but it's the freed up breathing room that keeps it fast. Here's the next piece. Every app you use quietly hoards little temporary files called cache. Bits of data it saves so it doesn't have to reload things. In small amounts, helpful. But over years, that cache balloons into gigabytes of junk your phone has to wade through constantly. Go into your storage settings and clear the cache on your biggest offenders, your browser, your social apps, your maps. You're not deleting your accounts or your photos or anything you'd miss. You're emptying the junk drawer. And a phone with room to breathe is a phone that moves quickly, because a storage drive that's stuffed to the brim gets sluggish the same way a crammed closet takes forever to find anything in. While we're clearing things out, the apps, not the ones you use, the ones you don't. Most phones come stuffed with pre-installed apps you never asked for and never opened, and a lot of them run quietly in the background anyway, sipping memory and processing power for no reason. The ones you can't fully delete, you can almost always disable, which stops them dead. And the third-party apps you downloaded once and forgot? If you haven't touched it in 6 months, it's not an app, it's a tenant who stopped paying rent. Evict it. Everyone you remove is memory handed back to the phone to spend on the things you actually use. There's one more background drain worth killing. A lot of apps refresh themselves constantly even when they're closed, pulling new data, updating feeds, waking the processor up over and over. Go into your settings, find background app refresh, and switch it off for everything that doesn't genuinely need to update the second something happens. Your messaging apps? Fine, leave those. But Your shopping apps and your games do not need to be busy while they're closed. Shutting that off frees up power during the day, and as a bonus, you'll notice by evening your battery suddenly lasts a lot longer too. Now, if your phone still feels heavy after all that, there's a gentler cousin of the dreaded factory reset that almost nobody uses. Simply restart the phone. I know, it sounds absurdly simple, like advice from a help desk, but most people never actually turn their phone off. They just let it run for weeks, sometimes months on end. All that time, tiny errors and stuck processes quietly accumulate in the memory, and they never get cleared until the phone is properly powered down and back up. A restart flushes all of it. Do it once a week, and you'll head off the slow creep before it ever builds up. And here's the mindset shift underneath all of this, the thing that saves you the $1,000 every few years. A phone doesn't wear out the way a pair of shoes does. It gets buried under animations built for newer models, under years of cached junk, under apps you forgot you installed, under a memory that never gets a chance to clear. Slowness isn't the hardware dying. It's the hardware suffocating. Every single thing we just did was you lifting that weight back off. Same chip, same phone, suddenly free to move as fast as it always could. So that's an old phone made fast again for the grand total of nothing, and about the time it takes to make a coffee. No store, no upgrade, no salesman telling you it was time. Just a few settings somebody else decided for you, switched back to your favor. If this brought your old phone back to life, do me a favor and send it to the person who's been complaining. Theirs is slow and eyeing a new one. Give it a like, and I'll see you in the next one.